Celebrations in the Big Apple. Thousands ring in the new year under tightened security.
You're looking at a live picture from San Francisco, where crowds here begin the big countdown.
It is not a happy new year for some families forced out because of a rock slide. See how long they'll be homeless.
And KNTV makes history tonight. Our switch to NBC3 is just minutes away.
From the fastest growing news station in Northern California, News Channel 11 at 11 starts now.
New York City erupts in red, white, and blue this New Year's Eve, leaving the tragic events of the year behind to ring in 2002 in style. Good evening, I'm Terrell Joe.
And I'm Alan Dutton. We are less than an hour away to the new year here on the West Coast. And we have live team coverage on the celebrations. Susan Saravo is in downtown San Jose. But first, we go to Stephanie Guadian at San Francisco's Embarcadero. Stephanie.
Good evening to you and Happy New Year. The party is definitely underway here in San Francisco at the Embarcadero. We're still about an hour outside of midnight, but people are already in the mood to celebrate. Take a look at the crowd out here. We are expecting perhaps as many as 300,000 people here tonight. Security is always heavy at this New Year's Eve event, but this year it's tighter than ever. After the September 11th terrorist attacks, the city of San Francisco decided to add several hundred officers to its holiday patrol. Now, so far, there's been no trouble to report. Police here are on the lookout for people drinking alcohol and for people trying to set off their own fireworks. The fireworks display starts at midnight, and the theme this year will be patriotic. I asked a few people how they feel tonight, more than 3 months after the terrorist attacks.
Well, I'm kind of scared. I was just like, I'm going to be home before 12 o'clock because I'm scared, because you never know. You can't be scared, though. How are you going to live your life in fear? We want to move on.
I think everyone's ready to, put September 11th past us, and we're still, Americans, and we want to go out there and show our pride.
Now, there were some predictions for rain late tonight, but organizers tell me that the fireworks display will go off whether or not we get any wet weather. And I think there are a lot of people here ready to ring in the new year. That is the latest from here. Live in San Francisco, I'm Stephanie Guadian. Back to you in the studio.
Wow, what a crowd. It's going to be a fun night tonight. Thank you, Stephanie.
While thousands of folks are partying hard in San Francisco, the celebration came to a quick end for about 100 people in the South Bay. A fire at a downtown restaurant forced them out into the street. Susan Saravo is live to show us what's happening right now. Susan.
Terrell, it turns out it was a grill fire inside the Il Fornaio restaurant, which is in the Hyatt about a block behind me, and it created quite a chaotic scene for people here tonight. About 100 were forced out into the roads. Firefighters blocked off nearby streets and made their way up to the roof because the fire had gone 4 stories up a flue. They did contain it, and fortunately, no one was hurt. Meantime, other revelers are still enjoying a festive night at the Fairmont. Champagne flutes and party hats fill the tables at the Fairmont's Gala New Year's Eve celebration. In the kitchen, the chefs prepare a special menu designed for ringing in the new year, but compared to past years, this one is quiet for the hotel.
People wanted just to be with each other and be able to talk to each other and hold hands and say, I love you.
Some people arrived in tuxedos and gowns, while others came in casual clothes. They stopped to check out the impressive ice sculpture with the important number 2002. On the streets of downtown San Jose, a performance of traditional Mexican dance to celebrate the end of the year and welcome in the new one.
There's a lot of children also participating. We are delighted to be able to do it in the outdoors, with this beautiful weather. At
Christmas in the Park, families gathered to enjoy the San Jose snow and enjoy the night together.
It's our first baby. He's about 5.5 months old, and we figured we'll stay home. We want to be with him rather than go out and party.
It's kind of a tradition in our house to enjoy just a quiet New Year's Eve.
The Fairmont's theme this year is Don't Wait to Celebrate, and everyone is choosing to do that in their own way. And even though it's getting late out tonight, lots of moms and dads and kids are here having a great time. Yeah, right? They seem to be celebrating the night with relatives. Live in San Jose, I'm Susan Saravo. Back to you, Carolyn.
Okay, Susan, thank you.
Well, for many people all around the world, the new year has already arrived. In Hong Kong, thousands gathered for the Times Square countdown, and as 2002 arrived, confetti, fake snow, and colorful balloons filled the air. In Paris, fireworks lit the sky, but it was the euro that took center stage for the beginning of 2002. As of today, the euro is the new common currency in 12 European countries.
Well, turning to the weather now, parts of the North Bay are under a flood watch tonight.
John Farley's here now with all the details. John?
That's right. Thanks, Alan. We are going to see a rainstorm. It's already starting a little bit out there right now, but let's talk about tomorrow. There is a flood watch in effect for Marin, Napa, and Sonoma counties. That is, flooding is likely. Now, when is it most likely to happen? Well, like most probably, it'll coincide with the high tides. These are the high tide times for the different creeks in the North Bay. In particular, the smaller creeks of Marin County are the ones that we're most concerned about. I'll give you more details on this storm and what's in store for the next couple of days in about 10 minutes. Carolyn and Alan.
All right, John, thank you. Well, some people in San Francisco will not be able to ring in the new year in their own homes. A rock slide has forced them out of their condominium complex, and they may not be able to move back in until well into the new year. The Stone Ridge condominium complex is near the Cow Palace on Geneva Avenue and Carter Street. Linton Johnson is live above the scene with some new information. Linton.
Well, 1 to 2 months, that's how long it could take before they fix the slide. We're well above it. Look at it over there. That's the condominium complex that evacuated. That white squiggly thing down there, that's a fence which the rocks knocked over. The property manager says soil engineers want the slide fixed before letting people back in.
Some really loud noise, and we thought it was the rain.
Jose DeVore and his daughter look at the rock and mud slide that forced the evacuation of Building 5000 at Stone Ridge condos. The DeVores live in another part of the complex and hope the slide does not get worse because they'd have no place to go if they have to evacuate.
I have a family, but they don't have enough room for us. So.
It's very bad that the rocks have been falling and that 12 families were forced to evacuate so they wouldn't get hurt.
Right now, the rock and mud are staying put. But Friday night, the rain caused the slide, and by Sunday, you can see just how close the rocks came to hitting Building 5000. This morning, crews brought in concrete barriers to stop any future slides from damaging the complex. Meantime, the 12 displaced families are either living with loved ones or in a hotel. The property manager says it looks like the families will be out of their homes for up to 2 months.
Those 12 homeowners have been placed in hotels for the meantime, and they will be relocated probably because the repair plan is going to take anywhere from 1 to 2 months.
The property manager says there have been some very minor rock slides before in the last 9 years since the complex has been here. Lawyers, insurance company, all kinds of people are looking into what needs to be done, and then they're going to present that information to the residents on Saturday morning. Live in San Francisco, Linton Johnson, News Channel 11. Back to you.
All right, Linton, thank you. Well, if tomorrow's weather forecast proves true, Marin County is likely to get flooding. Tonight, the Corte Madera Creek in Ross is running high, and the Marin County Flood District says several inches of rain combined with a very high tide tomorrow could make for flooding conditions. Marin County is still dealing with several inches of water from the past couple of days. A lot of people are also keeping an eye on the Petaluma River. It's about 10 feet below flood stage, but it could rise fast if we get a substantial amount of rain tonight. The Sonoma County Office of Emergency Services will remain on flood watch. We'll continue to monitor the storm throughout the night. For the very latest, make sure you stay tuned tomorrow morning to Today About the Bay at 5 a.m.
The man responsible for one of the most heinous crimes in California is dead, not by execution, but illness. Larry Singleton has died of cancer on Florida's death row. In 1978, Singleton raped teenager Mary Vincent, then hacked off her arms with an axe and left her to die near Modesto. Vincent survived. Singleton served 8 years behind bars. He was on Florida's death row for killing a prostitute.
Now to the latest on America's war on terrorism. Dozens of U.S. combat Marines launched a mission today to capture Taliban leader Mullah Mohammed Omar. Afghanistan's prime minister says Omar is thought to be hiding in the remote mountains of central Afghanistan. Several thousand Taliban troops could be in the region. Well, President Bush isn't commenting on the mission, but he says the U.S. is determined to get Omar and Osama bin Laden. Mr. Bush spoke about the situation today from Crawford, Texas. He says the U.S. will remain on a heightened state of alert in the new year.
Stanford's head coach Tyrone Willingham is making history. He's leaving Stanford to take over as head coach at Notre Dame. Notre Dame announced the hire this afternoon. Willingham's move is historic because he becomes the first African-American head coach at Notre Dame. He will replace George O'Leary, who just days after taking the job, resigned after being caught lying on his resume. And later on in sports, Raj will give you Stanford's reaction.
Well, some big changes for us tonight as well here at KNTV.
That's right. All of us are just incredibly excited because in less than 30 minutes, we will become the Bay Area's new NBC affiliate. And to keep you posted on the countdown, we have added a countdown clock to NBC3 at the bottom right of your screen. And as you can see, we have about 24 minutes and 28 seconds and counting very quickly. Our newsroom is also getting ready for the big change. Just moments ago, rather, our news director unveiled our new NBC3 logo in our newsroom. And our NBC3 news vans are already being seen all over the Bay Area.
Well, of course, we've got more on the NBC switch coming up.
And here's a live picture of operators manning our phone bank, ready to answer your questions.
And big changes are on the way that could affect how you buckle your children in your car.
And from people washing cars to people making food, how the new year will help bring them more money.
Bay Area TV is changing. January 1st, the WB's moving exclusively to the Bay Area's WB.
You gotta be kidding.
Start the new year off right with all your favorite WB shows on the Bay Area's WB. And there's more that's new in 2002. NBC is moving to KNTV Channel 11, the new NBC3, ER, Friends, The West Wing. They'll all have a new home. Make your New Year's resolution now and tune into the Bay Area's WB and the new NBC3.
On this last day of 2001, traders from the New York Stock Exchange stopped their normal shouting and shoving to sing God Bless America. For more than 30 years, traders have gathered in the pits on New Year's Eve to sing Wait Till the Sun Shines Nellie. The traders made God Bless America their anthem after the September 11th attacks.
Well, at the stroke of midnight tonight, a host of new laws will take effect in California. And one that will have a major economic impact is an increase in the minimum wage. It will go up 50 cents to $6.75 an hour. That will give California the second highest minimum wage in the country, right behind Washington State.
And here's a look at some of the other new laws. Starting tomorrow, parents will have to put their bigger kids in child safety seats. That means any child under 6 years old or less than 60 pounds will need a car seat. Also, if you leave a child under the age of 6 unattended inside a car, you'll get a $100 fine. The Attorney General's office will be required to set up a do not call list of people who want to avoid calls from telemarketers. And firearms made or sold in California will have to come with trigger locks.
And another big development for the new year is happening right here at KNTV.
As we've been telling you, we've become the Bay Area's NBC station in less than 20 minutes. Here's a look at how this historic change in the Bay Area television happened.
This was KNTV then.
The U.S. Energy Secretary is...
And this is KNTV now. The trucks are painted, the billboards are up, and the team is ready to revolutionize Bay Area news in 2002. It's been quite a ride for KNTV. For 40 years, KNTV broadcast ABC programs to the South Bay as well as Salinas and Monterey. After 40 years, the station shed its affiliation with ABC. The network paid Granite Broadcasting, KNTV's owner, $14 million so KGO would be the sole ABC station in the Bay Area. Now, with no network ties, KNTV decided to concentrate on Bay Area news, bringing viewers all across the Bay 8 hours of news a day.
We'll be able to get there.
Congratulations, that was a tough match. You noticed, huh?
As that was happening, the Chronicle Corporation sent shockwaves through the Bay Area broadcast industry by announcing it was selling the San Francisco Chronicle and KRON TV. NBC Network bid for KRON and lost. The network then stunned the industry by announcing it was selling the affiliation to KNTV. Granite Broadcasting agreed to pay NBC $362 million to air NBC shows. That is the first time in history a local station would pay a network for its programs. Traditionally, it's always been the other way around.
Many of us at NBC have yearned to own a station in this marketplace. We're talking about the 5th largest area in the country. And for us, that's a tremendous, important place to have a real focus and a real connection to the community.
You work for NBC.
KNTV was gearing up for the switch when NBC bought KNTV. When the deal gets final approval, probably in about 6 months, NBC will own a station in the Bay Area for the first time. Now, NBC is bringing its vast resources right here to KNTV to give Bay Area viewers unprecedented service.
We're committed to every viewer in this marketplace to give them the best, the smartest news and information and programming, entertainment programming than you can get anywhere in the country.
And operators are standing by in our newsroom to answer any of your questions regarding the switch to NBC. This is a live picture of our newsroom now, and you can call those operators at 1-800-508-NBC3. The number again is 1-800-508-NBC3.
Well, in the midst of all this change, a powerful storm is bearing down on the Bay Area right now. John Farley joins us with the latest on that storm.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to start out with a live shot from the Embarcadero, and that is where some New Year's folks are getting a couple of spritzels, but nothing significant falling right now. That's going to change as we head toward morning. Let me bring you the latest in Doppler radar, and what I'm going to show you, ooh, I'm walking, look at that. Hi, I'm out here too with the revelers, aren't I? Here's the Doppler radar. Here you go. What's going on is there are a couple of showers working in from about San Francisco north. What's falling down here, or what's appearing down here, is just ground clutter. The actual storms are up in here. Some light rain out of this, but there's a lot more out to the west. I'll show you the bigger view, and again, you can see this big blob of green, this one pushing to the north of the Bay Area. Some heavier echoes showing up also farther north. And let me show you the satellite perspective. There's a lot of moisture out there. Bay Area is here. Look at all of this moisture out here to the west. Now, this is all headed our way with a focus on the North Bay and points north. So what's going to happen as we go through the day tomorrow is all of this moisture works on in, and then finally, this low and front sitting way out here to the west, this thing will finally swing on through tomorrow night into Wednesday, so the rain will not end until at least midday on Wednesday as I see it. By then, you folks in the North Bay, 2 to 4 inches out of this. In the South Bay, ½ an inch, and then as you get into places like San Francisco, 2 or 3 inches. So this is going to be a good soaking. But the good news after that is there's nothing on the horizon. So we're going to dry out at least for 4 or 5 days as I see it. Tonight, rain filling in, and it's going to pick up as we head toward morning. Also, you'll notice the winds start to pick up around 20 miles an hour by dawn. Tomorrow, rainy. It'll be heavy at times, especially in the North Bay. Gusts to 35 miles an hour, and temperatures will only go up by about 4 or 5 degrees over tonight's lows. Here's the rest of the week as I see it. Wednesday will continue to be wet. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, things are going to dry out. Now, looks like the focus, as I say, is going to be North Bay, so that's where you folks need to pay attention. Possibility of flooding, especially at high tide tomorrow, which happens between about noon and 2.
All right, John. Thank you.
Okay. Well, the Raiders and 49ers, not happy campers, complaining in the locker room. Raj has the story ahead in sports.
Plus, we're excited to become the Bay Area's newest NBC affiliate in less than, well, about 20 minutes or so. Coming up, we'll talk one-on-one tonight with Jay Leno.
Right now, you are looking at a live picture inside KNTV's master control room.
And of course, this is the place where in just a few minutes, they'll punch that button with a peacock on it and launch a new page in our history as NBC3. Our NBC programming starts with The Tonight Show and Jay Leno at 11:35. Well, we talk with Jay this afternoon.
Jay, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I can't tell you how excited and thrilled we are to have The Tonight Show be the first official show in our new life as the NBC3 station here. So thank you very much. Now tell us, be the NBC pitchman for just a moment. Tell us about the exciting quality programming that our viewers can expect.
Oh, all kinds of quality. Emerald is no longer with us. Inside Schwartz is gone. So it's just going to be Dateline and Law and Order about 60 hours a week.
60 hours a week, huh? All right, Jay, New Year's Eve, a big lineup, I'm sure, on the show tonight. Tell us what we can expect to see there.
Well, we're going to have some fun tonight. It'll be live, so if something happens, we can't edit. We have this thing called, I think it's called Don't Try This Sober, where people are going to do these ridiculous stunts. I have no idea what they are, but I understand they're quite odd. Chris Isaac will be with us. Bill Maher is going to do some stand-up comedy for us. Janine Garofalo will be live in Times Square. We'll be cutting back and forth to her as the ball drops. See, out here we don't have the ball. We have Robert Downey Jr. falls off the roof of the rehab center. That's
next best thing, huh?
Yeah.
What about a New Year's resolution? Anything going there?
New Year's resolution? I'd like to gain 15 pounds. That was my resolution last year, and I only gained about 6, so I'm hoping this year. See, I set realistic goals, and I think that's important.
Realistic is good. Okay, well, on a very realistic note, hey, Jay, thank you so much for joining us, and again, we are thrilled.
Thanks, you guys, and there'll be a little something extra in your envelopes this week as well.
Hey, we like that.
All right, Jay. Thanks so much for being such a good sport for us today and for leading.
Thanks a lot. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you. Bye-bye.
I'm looking forward to the show tonight, huh?
It was so much fun.
Yeah. Well, keep it right here. We're minutes away from a Tonight Show you won't want to miss.
Jay will be here in about 10 minutes to finish our countdown as we become the Bay Area's newest NBC affiliate, NBC3.
Why Notre Dame and how much money Stanford's Tyrone Willingham scores big.
Also a war of words. John Gruden and Rich Gannon locking horns at Raiders headquarters. Raj joins us next with sports. So Tyrone Willingham making history and making big bucks.
Yeah, that's the big party. He's celebrating in Notre Dame tonight. This is a good story for him. Tomorrow morning, the folks at Notre Dame will introduce Ty Willingham as their new head coach. They'll discover what we've been discovering the past 7 years. Willingham is rock solid. 7 seasons on the farm, leading Stanford to 4 bowl games. He arrived today in South Bend and was whisked away to the Notre Dame campus. Why is this Notre Dame job so illustrious? It's part history, part myth, and a whole part of money. They'll pay Willingham more than $2 million a season.
I think this is a great decision by Notre Dame University. I think they've hired the right guy. I've been quoted as saying that before, but I think Tyrone fits many of the values of Notre Dame University.
He'll be a great presence on the sideline of South Bend, and wish him well. And I know Stanford will miss him.
Speaking of Gruden, he's got some problems. On the verge of the playoffs, the Raiders have lost 3 of their last 5 games. And then there's that little soap opera regarding Rich Gannon. Following yesterday's loss in Denver, Gannon blasted some of his teammates, saying that a handful of the Raiders are playing without discipline. Gruden today disagreed with his quarterback's team assessment. So life goes on in Alameda. The Raiders host the Jets this Sunday. As for the circus in Santa Clara, it's always fun with Mariucci. Coming off their loss to the Cowboys, Terrell Owens had only 5 catches in yesterday's game and was not really a factor. T.O. said he's the best player on the team and he needs to have a bigger role. Touche. Mariucci can explain further. Mooch will join us for a live interview on tomorrow's 6 o'clock sportscast. College football via San Jose today. The Silicon Valley Classic. Great story between Michigan State and Fresno State. The 2 teams nearly got into a brawl at a pep rally last Thursday. Don King would have loved this. Today, a good, clean fight. 1,100 yards of total offense. Michigan State upsets 20th-ranked Fresno State 44-35. All right, so what do we have? We have a countdown over here. We've got another countdown with the clock. We've got countdowns everywhere. We do know this, however. Earlier tonight, we brought you the Bay Area's top sports stories of the year. We count down tonight with the bottom sports story of the year.
Ooh, nice draft.
We'll have some fun with it. Our biggest blooper of the year, rookie hazing, Giant style. This is what they do to the newcomers.
The bunny in the locker room.
Yes, thankfully there's no rookie hazing. That's my favorite.
Oh, looking good. Oh, I like that.
These guys are class acts, I'm telling you.
Thankfully there's no rookie hazing for the new NBC affiliates. Because we would look a little silly.
Yeah, you notice he wasn't able to get the zipper tied up on the back of his dress.
It's that happened a couple months ago. And Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent are sitting on the couch in the back of the locker room kind of laughing as all
they're getting a real trip out of this one, huh?
Easy for
You
them.
know it.
Huh?
Yeah.
All right,
Good
Raj,
job.
thank
Thanks a
you.
lot.
Well, stay with us. Coming up, the big switch to NBC.
We'll be right back with the historic moment.
All right, let's take a look at the countdown clock again. 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Finally tonight, as we count down the final minutes until we become the Bay Area's NBC station.
We want to give you a quick look back where we came from and where we're going. In 1955, KNTV became the first South Bay television station in history.
Good evening. In tonight's news, these headlines.
Throughout the 60s and 70s, San Jose had a small-town feel, with KNTV, a local TV station, to call its own.
News 11, local, state, and world news.
And when I got home, whether it was the first newscast or the second one, I could always catch what was going on and what I needed to see.
It's been great having KNTV here in San Jose.
Over the past 10 years, some 60 to 70.
After 40 years covering the South Bay, KNTV started to spread its wings, and in 2000 began working its way up the Bay, finally reaching the entire Bay Area.
Live in Marin County tonight, where thousands of new viewers are watching KNTV for the very first time.
And now it's 2002, and KNTV is proud to bring you the finest news, information, and entertainment as we begin this new chapter as NBC3. Well, the big moment has finally arrived, and now the 2-year wait is over.
Well, join us for our next chapter as NBC3. We're celebrating right here in our studios,
right.
And Jay Leno is celebrating in Burbank, ready to count us down. Thanks for joining us for this historic night, and Happy New Year.
All right, Bay Area, it's time to make the switch to NBC3. Are you ready? All right, count down with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, NBC3. We're up next.
The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliates welcome KNTV NBC3, serving San Jose, Oakland, San Francisco, and the entire Bay Area. This is television's most honored network. This is NBC. You're watching NBC, America's late night leader.